There we go. Okay. Good morning. Let's call the Rankin County Board of Supervisors to order, October 6th. A little after 9, I'm getting a little feedback. At this time, could I have from Mr. Craig Slade, would you do our invocation for us, please?
Let's pray. Father, we want to thank you for the beauty of the day. Father, thank you for this opportunity to gather together to conduct the business of the county. Father, the freedoms that we enjoy to be here today, to participate in our government, it's an incredible freedom, Father, and it's one that has been secured with a very high price. I thank you, Father, for the men and women who sacrificed everything so that we can stand here today in freedom and conduct this business. I pray, Father, for wisdom and discernment to be given from on high to these gentlemen as they consider the work that lays before them today. I pray, Father, that you will help them to see the responsibility they have to meet all the needs of the county. And Father, I pray that as they act on the business of the county, that they will do it in a spirit and with an attitude, Father, that is pleasing to you. Father, I pray that you will guide the hearts and minds of those in attendance today. And I pray, Father, that as we leave here today, we'll look for opportunities to be of service to our fellow man in Christ's name.
Amen. Thank you, Craig. Okay, at this time, we have public comments and recognition. We got Mr. Dave Van. Okay.
He's waiting?
He's waiting?
Oh, for some people? Okay.
I was waiting on some people, okay? Well, let's jump on down then to, after Janice said that Steve Kelly and them may be just a little bit, they're here? Okay. Steve Kelly, manager, and Tanya Wicks, field representative for Woodmen of the World, commitment outreach, flag depository, presentation, and dedication. Y'all come on forward.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Steve Kelly has not made it here yet this morning. I believe he's caught up in some construction traffic. I'm sure y'all understand that.
Oh, yes.
But I have one of my colleagues with me, John Anderson. He's also a field representative with Woodmen of the World
Good
here
man.
in Brandon and Pearl. He services the Pearl area as well. But I know many of you noticed the box when you were coming in. It's been out there for about a month or so. The flag repository box that we presented to you guys, I think, in May. It's out there. It looks really good, and we would just like to dedicate that to the people of Rankin County, that they can bring their old, tattered United States flags that need to be properly retired and put them in there. There's no cost to do that for them. And we have a local Boy Scout troop that I think John has reached out to and contacted, and they're going to come on a regular basis and clean up those flags out of the box and properly retire them, have a proper retirement ceremony for them. And I think Lynn over in the office will be giving their information so that she can be in contact with them if it looks like it's filling up.
Great.
So-
Yeah, it's been needed for a long time. We appreciate Woodmen of the World doing that.
Thank you very much. We appreciate the opportunity to put that out there and service the people of Rankin County.
Well, thank you. And Chuck, I guess, I don't know if you guys are going to be able to stay around for a while.
We are.
Or,
Steve's on his way.
okay. If you can stay around for a little bit, maybe we
So
can.
go outside and take a picture at the box?
Yes, that's what I'm thinking, if
Okay.
they've got time.
Yeah.
Sure.
So,
Right.
thank you very much for what you guys do for the not only the county but the state of Mississippi, and especially for the U.S. flag. It means a lot to us. So we appreciate y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity.
I think last time, the other gentleman was in traffic again, so.
He lives down Old Fannin
Y'all do
Road.
just fine without him.
You do great.
He lives down Old Fannin Road, so that explains the traffic situation.
It should be by the end of the year. That's what we're getting, right, Buster?
That's what they keep. I live over there too. And that's
We're
what they
trying to
keep
figure
telling
out
me.
which year, but by the end of the year. That's right. So, thank
you very
y'all.
much.
Thank y'all.
You bet. Okay, at this time, we have Wes Black with C Spire Area Sales Manager and Andrea George, Client Account Executive. Good morning.
Morning. Y'all doing okay?
Good. How you doing?
All doing just fine. Well, I wanted to come out and introduce Andrea as y'all's new C Spire account representative. She is native of Star.
Yes.
Native of Star, lives
Grew
in
up in
Flow.
Rankin County.
So she is a
Wonderful.
Rankin County girl. So wanted to introduce Andrea to you, and know that she's going to take great care of y'all going forward. Also want to thank all of y'all for your C Spire business. It's not something we take for granted. We really do appreciate y'all and what y'all do for us and for the county. Andrea's got some information I think she wants to pass out to you guys. And basically what's in this little packet is just a little bit more information. Obviously y'all know all about C Spire, but some of the other products and services that we're now starting to offer. Y'all are familiar with our internet, but also our voice over IP product, as well as our hosted exchange product. So really and truly, we just wanted to come out today and say thank you. We really do appreciate your guys' business, and know that if there's anything we can do for y'all going forward, you do not hesitate. You've got Andrea's contact information. Y'all got mine. Y'all do not hesitate to ever give us a call to address anything you may have.
Wonderful. Thank you. And of course, you've got your, looks like you got your cell phone number on here,
It
correct?
is.
That's great. That's wonderful.
All hours of the day.
'Cause we do
Wes,
have,
Are you moving on?
Oh, no, sir, I'm still here.
Oh, okay, all right.
she's just gonna keep you straight in Rankin County, correct?
She is going to
Correct.
keep me straight. Yes,
There you
sir.
go. I
Absolutely.
understand that real well.
Absolutely. Well, we appreciate you guys, and Ms. Janice, thank you.
Thank
have a
y'all. If
good
y'all
day.
have any questions for us, please, don't hesitate to call us. And, the number one person to probably call would be Miss Janice for sure, because she keeps us straight. So,
And she knows how to get a hold of us, too.
you got it. Thank y'all.
Thank y'all.
And welcome. Okay, let's move back up to see that Mr. Dave Vann, Executive Director of Region 8 Mental Health, has popped in. So we appreciate you getting here, Mr. Dave.
They finally cut him loose.
They did. Been working. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you,
Morning.
Mr. President, fellow Board of Supervisors, and thank you for letting me come before you today. I very much appreciate that. Just want to say thank you for all you do for Region 8. The Senate Bill 2100 requires me to come before you face-to-face at least once a year. Of course, I'll be here anytime you ask me to be here, do anything you need us to do at any time. But to go over our annual budget, well, not necessarily go over, but answer any questions that you might have about our services or budget. And so I've got our annual report. If you
Okay.
don't mind, I'd like to approve.
Yes, sir. That'd be great.
Mr. President, as you can see in our annual report, we served somewhere around 20,000 individuals in a 5-county area last year, with over half of those individuals being served here in Rankin County. Region 8 invested $6.2 million in Rankin County last year. You guys have, of course, allocated us a pool of money to provide services for the indigent here in Rankin County. And I will say that the system that you guys have is one of the best anywhere that I've seen throughout the country. You do take care of the folks that are in our counties. I'd like to thank our sheriff and all the other officials that work with us every day, chancellor clerks, and when we go through the commitment process and somebody needs treatment, we provide that treatment 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You guys made the commitment not to hold folks in jail just simply because they have a mental illness, and I know everybody in Rankin County appreciates that. It helps Rankin County be a healthier place to live, work, and so we want to say thank you for that and your commitment, and you're above the rest, and we appreciate your support of those who have a mental illness, alcohol and drug issue, or those who have a severe disability that was brought on by the Lord, and we provide services for all those individuals. They're not walking the street committing crimes, and they're in a safe place for the most part. They're not in institutions at 100% cost to the taxpayer, and so we say thank you for providing the support that you provide for Region 8 and the folks of Rankin County that suffer from these types of illnesses.
Right. Dave, I know in the past, it seemed like every year we talk about this a little bit, but if the county didn't put in what little money we do for Region 8, because you do have a great service, Can you give a little bit of just a brief synopsis of what it would cost the Rankin counties if we didn't have this service?
Well, I do know that we are providing the crisis services for Rankin County, which is unique compared to some of the other counties, which means that we respond 24 hours a day to any crises. And there are hundreds of people that go through the commitment process year after year, and I think by law, and I've seen it, so I don't think I know, that the county would be responsible to some extent for the financial payment of individuals that went through the commitment process if they don't have the funds to pay for it, and many of those individuals, the majority, do not. A lot of them are have hit rock bottom. Some of them don't have, well, most of them are not employed.
Right.
Certainly don't have health insurance. Many of them don't have government assistance either, especially in this county. So it leaves them in the gap with not having, with the Board of Supervisors being responsible for that financial payment. And of course, you guys came to us or we came together and developed a contract for the care of these individuals years ago at an immediate cost savings of about $1.5 million. Most counties either hold individuals in jail, which means that you pay, or the taxpayer pays 100% of the cost of the individual to be held in jail until a bed becomes available at the state hospital. In the past, it's been as long as 6 months. And of course, our sheriff can tell you that they're not equipped to handle the mentally ill. You have individuals that have committed suicide, but certainly you have those that are, it's inhumane to hold somebody in jail just simply because they're mentally ill. They need treatment, and with this particular service, we can provide immediate acute care psychiatric treatment for individuals that go through the commitment process. We can treat them and return them to the community where they can return to their jobs. They can be then tax-paying citizens. They can contribute to society. It gives them a sense of self-worth, and that's where the families want them to be, if at all possible, at home with them, with their loved ones. So I think there are huge benefits to you guys supporting that program, not to mention the fact that your county allocations provide for the indigent that comes up to the center every day. Prior to having a crisis, individuals are treated regardless of their ability to pay at Region 8. And we're not a state agency, so just to be real clear, we do provide services on a fee-for-service basis, and we do try to collect funds if individuals can pay for it, but we do not turn anybody away regardless of their ability to pay. And part of the incentive, of course, is the agreement that you guys have with us. Part of our incentive to make sure we treat somebody regardless of their ability to pay is that we will have to pay on the back end, and we will be responsible for the financial care of their treatment too, through the contract that you guys have with us if we don't treat them on the front end. So there is certainly a motivation for us, not only in humanistic, from a humanistic standpoint, but also a financial standpoint, to treat somebody prior to them having a crisis, being in a crisis situation.
Right.
I couldn't put a number on the amount of money that the agreement saves with you guys because of the human lives and families that are saved every year, but I can tell you that there are tons of residual effects, but well over $2 to $4 million. I don't know.
In several million dollars.
Several million dollars. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That, in all fairness to you guys, prior to Region 8, I guess back in the 1970s, the board was trying to take care of the individuals who were mentally ill by trying to find placements for them through the Chancellor Clerk's office, and not many other counties were even doing that at the time.
Well,
So
we
you've always made a commitment to those individuals in need of care, always. And we appreciate it, and we hope that Region 8's doing a good job for you, and if there's any problems, well, I don't know about them, and so please let me know if there are, and we'll correct them. And
Well, I can
thank
tell you every time that I've had to call you or your staff, y'all have been right there for us, and we appreciate everything you've done for us.
you. Thank you,
So,
sir.
Thank you, Dave.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate you.
All righty.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, at this time, we have Mr. Chris Ziebert, consultant on community development.
First, just let me say thank you for letting me come and share a little information with you this morning. Basically, I'm here to ask you to think about having a little bit of link to community development. And, you know, a lot of times people say, well, you know, we already are doing a lot of things. And every community feels that way. And they're right, they are. And what I'm asking this morning is for you to consider maybe creating a program that would allow, I've got a little handout for you. What the program would allow is for you to get a snapshot of what people are thinking about what's going on in the community.
Yes, sir.
And their possible contribution to that. Now, how it would work is this way. You would put together a group of people, citizens in Rankin County, and those people would be from each one of the districts, so we know that everybody's being, and what you get is a snapshot. What I'll do is I'll take these folks through a planning process in 4 basic areas: workforce development, business development, social infrastructure, and physical infrastructure. And from that, once they've made a plan, what they do is they select projects to do. And once those projects are selected, I'll help them set goals and objectives and action steps. And then we'll link them to funding sources. Now, what that provides, I think, for the county is sometimes the strategic plan is in a big book, and you don't really see what's going on in the moment. And what this program will do, if you choose to hire me to do it, is let that program grow in that way. You can see a snapshot of what's going on in the county with what the people are that are in that program think. This is not something for you to fund at the end. I'm not asking you to fund the projects they come up with. I'll link them to funding sources. I'll work for the Development Authority and did basically what I'm proposing today for about 10 years when Jimmy Heidel was at the Development Authority. I just did it in different counties and traveled the state doing it. That's about it. Thank you very much for letting me speak to you today. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. Appreciate you. Okay, we have any old business? No old business? Okay, have a consent agenda items.
Where do you want to start?
Where do I want to start?
You said consent agenda items.
I've got a motion to approve from Mr. Walter Johnson.
Second.
Got a second by Mr. Morrison. Any questions?
Yeah. That, the number 1, that 12,000 amendment, are we like just putting that money back in there?
What Brett has done, the amount that we allocate to the volunteer fire at the end of the year, he holds out some money, I believe $750 from the fire departments that they have agreed to put back into either for training purposes or capital outlay purposes that they need. He did not include this in his budget when he requested it this year, but the money was withheld from the departments. So he asked that we do an amendment to add this.
So it's kind of a wash because it was withheld from them,
Right.
So we'll be increasing his budget by 12,000?
but it's coming basically from the
From the
department.
fire departments.
Yeah.
That was
Okay.
held that way.
Okay,
Okay.
that answers the question.
I suppose.
Any more questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. Motion carries. Mr. John Sullivan, tax assessor.
Good morning, gentlemen. Just 3 items. The first item is mine and Judy's conference dues for makeup.
Motion approved.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Bishop, second by Mr. Morrison. Any questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. Motion carries.
And item B is for me and 2 of my appraisers to attend the fall workshop in Oxford for our CE hours.
Motion approved.
Second.
Got a motion by Mr. Morrison, second by Mr. Bishop. Questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. Motion carries.
And item C, I don't know if it has to have y'all's approval, we'll have to see from Craig. This is Denbury's request for ad valorem tax exemption. They, in statute, if they apply for it, they automatically get it. So they've always applied. The process that we go through is I fill out the position statements. I give the position statement saying that they qualify for the exemptions to Rankin First. Rankin First reviews those to see which ones I'm assuming they want to get the exemption. Then they come to y'all for the recommendation. Denbury was left off because Rankin First tabled it. We can't, we have no choice. That statute under 2731-102, it says they shall get the exemption if they apply for it. And they applied for it, so I'm just bringing this to y'all's attention. We didn't know if we needed to put it on the agenda
I guess.
or not. We just better safe than sorry.
Yeah, exactly. And I think I know that Tom's here, Rankin First Board, at their prior meeting, approved it, which is why it's just now coming to you guys. It comes as a recommendation, obviously, from Rankin First. So
Okay.
I think the statute, in my opinion, I've looked at it, the statute does require the board, as a matter of following the statute, to approve the exemption, although you don't have discretion.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, that
It
that
gives
clears
us
it
the
up.
authority to vote for it even though we can't.
As you see, county government
Tells
at
you
its
you're gonna
best.
vote yes.
That's county government at its best,
Yes.
right? Okay, do I have a motion to approve this?
So move.
Motion by Mr. Morrison,
Second.
second by Mr. Bishop. Questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like
Thanks.
sign. Motion carries. Thank you.
I'll remind you guys that y'all approved the school district budget.
Right. Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's
About the same kind
way.
of-
Questions about voting on something you don't have discretion on?
Right.
Correct.
I'm using
Understand.
that as a comparison.
Mr. Dale Westbrook, road manager.
We'll let you get all the way up here, Dale.
Okay, do I have a motion on road work accomplished for September of 2014 and road work scheduled for October 2014?
So move.
A motion by Mr. Johnson, second by Mr. Morrison. Questions?
Yeah. River being included in that October work.
Well, it's getting closer.
I do have a question, and I know this is probably not one that you can answer, but do we know how close, or are we moving forward with a type of system that can tracking system? I know you've brought that forward. Did we get that in the budget for a tracking system, Laura? We did? Okay. I guess that's more.
40,000? We budgeted 40,000 for it?
25 out of road, 25 out of bridge, although we don't think it will take that amount for the program.
Okay. So, I know, I guess I'm not looking for an answer, but I do want to keep it on the forefront because I know that you'd like to see it move forward to, I think, make it easier for you guys too, and also our constituents out there, and also our people that work for us. And I know that there are some hiccups, as far as training on that, for sure. So, possibly we could get Jay involved in as president, then I can put him off into La La Land over there where he could work on to make this happen. So, what do you think, Jay?
I think I'll be glad as long as Walter's there with me.
Yeah, he would
To
need
answer
to be
any
there.
technical questions that
Yeah.
come up,
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay,
I'll have to check my calendar.
Yeah, if you have a problem, Walter, you just call me.
that's right. Well, I'd like to see, like I said, I think that, the paper trail and everything else is great, but would like to see some, red flags on the computer and things like that. I think that would help expedite some things and things that fall through the crack for sure. So, if no more questions, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. Motion carries. Thank you, Mr. Dale. Mr. Charles Parker, County Consulting Engineer, while you're walking your way up this way, I did not get to recognize how great Mississippi stood this weekend over, if anybody carries football.
I was
Craig,
gonna wait
you
till
probably
Craig
didn't want to
got
mention
there.
that, did you, Craig?
Well, I
We was
did.
gonna wait till Craig's turn.
I wanted him to stew on it just a little bit.
Point of order.
Well, and the good thing about it is our attorney doesn't have that say-so point of order, so of course, I did want to say Mississippi did great this weekend. Just
Yeah, but
wanted to
you
see how our attorney did fare
You
this
really
week.
don't want to make the attorney mad either, Greg.
I know. I did see he had a change of, his tie changed this weekend. I don't know, so.
Yeah.
So, okay. Mr.
well-
Charles Parker, County Consulting Engineer.
I don't really think he's over it, but anyway.
I don't think he is.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have two items. First item is, I'm recommending approval of AT&T utility permit along and across Farmington Boulevard, Jordan Drive, and Huntington Point to bury fiber optic cable.
So move.
Got a motion by Mr. Morrison, second by Mr. Johnson. Any questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. Motion carries.
Thank you. Next item I have is a development called Grace Landing, which is out where Mount Helm intersects Highway 25. And you'll notice out to the side, I had Janice put no road construction because this does not involve any road construction. It's a total of, I believe, 7 lots. And I believe 3 of them are along Highway 25, and they're large lots along Highway 25, and the other 4 are along Mount Helm. So there'd be no road construction, so therefore there was no letter of credit required. So anyway, I'm recommending approval of that plat this morning.
At Highway 25 on which corner?
In Mount Helm, it'd be on the, let's see, it's on the south side of 25. 471.
So it's at Mount Helm and
471, what did I say, 25?
Yeah,
Yeah, 471.
hence the question.
Yes, sir.
But it is at 471.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Okay, I was aware of that, I just wasn't aware
Yeah.
of one at Highway 25.
That's just that's a slip of the tongue. Thank you, sir, for that correction.
I know it's been a long weekend, Buster.
Man, you just don't know how long it was. Sometimes when you got a little time,
Actually, this weekend, he was looking at numbers, you know.
I'll be happy to share it with you.
21, 14.
He did. Oh, yeah, I'm sure he's spent a lot. He was thinking it's still on 25. So we need no letter of credit then, is that
No,
what you're
sir,
saying?
that's correct.
Okay. Do I have a motion to approve?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Johnson, second by Mr. Bishop. Questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, just a minute, Mr. Parker.
Hold on,
before
Mr.
you leave,
Parker.
I did have one question.
The one that always comes up,
Yes,
probably.
I'm sure.
Are we making good progress on the Highway 49 drainage?
Yes, sir, we are.
project?
Yes, sir, we are. And
It's not
as,
that far down there if you can go check it out.
I don't want to get in the way of the construction work.
you know,
You know, just so you're keeping you know, briefly what direction that is, you know.
I mean, I figure he got his thumb on the pulse.
and
Start calling you.
It's coming, I'm fine, it's coming real well.
it is, and as soon, we're waiting on state aid at the present time. As soon as they authorize us to proceed, then we'll be requesting authority to advertise the LSRP project. Because we feel, because of the way the construction's going, you know, I don't think we'll have a problem with too much time being involved if we go ahead and advertise the project. But we cannot do that until state aid has finally signed off on everything and give us that authority. We're expecting that authority to advertise very shortly.
Yeah.
You look like you don't believe me, Mr.
No, I do. I need a definition of very shortly.
Yes, sir, and,
I mean, it's kind of like it's going to
Just
be
ask Dale, he
completed
can tell you.
by the end of the year.
He can tell you
Yes,
that
sir.
river bends very shortly.
that's true.
Shouldn't be long, though.
No, sir, no, sir. We're expecting within the next couple of weeks to hear a final sign off on it. But the minute I say that, they may have another problem.
So, we could possibly be laying asphalt on these other 2 projects before the end of the year. This year.
Possible. I'm not sure how likely. And the only reason I say
It's
that.
on the weather.
Yes, see, we're in a time of, and
That what it is,
Mr.
you
Morrison's right. There's a possibility that we would be to that situation, but we don't know what the weather conditions are gonna be, but either toward the end of the year or shortly after the first of the year. And on asphalt jobs, you know, it's not just rain that affects it, it's temperature too. So there are a lot of variables in it, but we'll be ready to go, Mr. Johnson, yes, sir.
Have you talked to our contractor out on Old Fanny Road about hauling off some of that stuff?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Matter of fact, we're in the process, we have not set a meeting up, we're gonna have a meeting with him again about that. You're talking about the dirt?
No,
Oh,
Equipment?
all those pipes,
Concrete.
concrete.
oh, yes, sir. We had a discussion about that a good while back,
Yeah.
and, you know, he says he is, but
Yeah.
Yeah, just a
Might be on
reminder.
letterhead.
yeah,
Okay.
so. All right.
Any more questions for Mr. Parker? Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Well, we have Craig Slay, Board Attorney. Good morning.
Good morning. Hotty freaking toddy. Let's get that out of the way. All right. Item A, set public hearing for October 15 at 9 a.m. for the Kevin Myers rezoning request on Ehrlich Road, District 1 property. Mr. President, if we could take item B as well, which is also to set a public hearing on October 15 for the Sheila Craft conditional use, 174 South Eagle Ridge, District 1. Those two items together.
I make a motion to approve, to set that public hearing.
Motion by Mr. Morrison, second by Mr. Johnson. Any questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. Motion carries.
Mr. President, the next three items are also to set a public hearing for November the 3rd at 2014, 9 a.m. Deborah Lindsay, conditional use request, District 4. Wendy Yoakum, conditional use request, District 1. And Raymond Foxworth, conditional use request on Gablewood Drive, District 2.
Okay, do I have a
Motion
motion?
to set that public hearing for all three of these.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Morrison, second by Mr. Bishop. Any questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. Motion carries.
Item F, Mr. President, is a public hearing on the Derek Boyd conditional use request, 680 Highway 469 South in District 1. We'll open that public hearing, and I'll ask if there's anyone here to speak in opposition to the Derek Boyd conditional use request. Anyone? Okay. Mr. Boyd is requesting a conditional use permit to place a new 28 by 76 manufactured home on family land at 680 Highway 469 South. This will be the second dwelling on a 36-acre parcel zoned RE1A. This time we'll close that public hearing. Not seeing any opposition, Mr. President, it'd be appropriate to take action.
I make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Morrison, second by Mr. Johnson. Any questions? All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, like sign. Motion carries.
Mr. President, this time we'll open a public hearing on the Robert Lloyd conditional use request, Old Fannin Road, District 2 property. I'll ask if there's anyone here to speak in opposition to the Robert Lloyd conditional use. Yes, ma'am, if you'll come forward. If you'll state your name and address, please.
Okay. My name is Sylvia South. My address is 1170 Old Fannin Road.
Okay.
Okay.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
What you'll need to do then is just discuss what your opposition to.
Well, I have concerns, I guess I'll put it like that. At 1170 where I live, I have 4 acres there, and it is directly across the street from the proposed property. And then just a little farther down the road, I have 4.5 acres there. It's 1138 and 1130 Old Fannin Road. And I'm just concerned about a car wash coming in there. I'd like to see something that was maybe, I know they say it's going to be upscale, but how do you make an upscale car wash?
Have you seen pictures of it?
Have you seen the pictures?
I have, and it...
Different than any I've ever seen.
Yeah, it looks very nice in the pictures, but we've got a tattoo parlor across the street and a motorcycle place and a gold and silver exchange and a bar. And I'd just like to see maybe the area with a little bit more upscale development, since I have 8 acres there, 8.5 acres.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you. Any questions? Thank you, ma'am.
Okay.
Is there anyone else to speak either in favor of or in opposition to? Mr.
President, I don't see anyone else to speak. If I may, I will give you guys a little brief on this particular request. Mr. Lloyd is requesting a conditional use permit for construction of an upscale express car wash to be located in the 1100 block of Old Fannin Road. It's a .95 acre vacant lot that is being cut out of a larger parcel of land that is owned by Dr. Charles Brown. The property is zoned C2. It is proposed that this facility will be similar to a tunnel car wash franchise or a finish line car wash franchise. Those are actually name brand car wash franchises, and you saw the photographs, so that's what that's intended to imply there, that it will be in keeping with what you've seen in the photographs. And so again, this is a conditional use request. The board is permitted to effect conditions on the approval. I just remind you of that. Okay.
If we were to approve this, could we require them to put brick?
Yes, sir. The conditions that you set are related to whether or not there's going to be any use of that property as proposed. So it's pretty wide open, the conditions that you desire to set, whatever you desire to set.
But this would be the place we have to put all the conditions in.
Yes. Now, let me say this. As far as it relates to the actual construction requirements, we have the building department, and that whole context of our building code will still have to be complied with. But my suggestion would be that whatever conditions you can think of, there's nothing that prohibits you even overlapping, double dipping on some of this. So like brick.
Well, I was thinking about landscaping and you know, brick and.
I would introduce whatever conditions that you feel are appropriate at this time.
And entrances and exits, not on the Old Fannin.
Okay.
Do what?
Entrances and exits, not on the Old Fannin.
So they've got the main drive that goes towards the bowling alley,
I think
correct?
it's fine, yeah. Don't forget that they will be coming back for site plan. So there's another bite at the apple as it relates to a lot of what we're talking about
Okay.
here. But I have no problem with us going ahead and saying right now, as a way of telegraphing to these folks,
Right.
that there's a good bit of work coming, because they may need to decide whether or not it's economical for
Right.
them to proceed from this point in light of what the board is telegraphing to them.
Yeah.
So brick fascia, restricted entrance and exit, not being allowed to use Old Fannin, that could dramatically alter their plan.
Right.
And
Yeah,
so
'cause
I would suggest we make sure that those conditions are clearly stated.
Well, when I'm hearing upscale car wash, I mean, it's pretty telegraphic that they should be as upscale as possible. And
Well, that's anything in District 2. Everything
that's
says upscale.
pretty much what we've heard, right?
Well, and what they've shown is, you know, so far ahead of anything else I've ever seen. But I think the conditions, if we do approve it, some of these conditions I do understand. But
Okay.
I'm trying to think what all this would cover.
Well, I think this car wash in Brandon on Highway 80, I think it has limited hours of operation. Like after, I don't know what time at night they close, or 7. So they're probably open from 8 to 7, you know, and I would suggest that we put some kind of hours of operation, because it looked like from the photographs that we saw, that it was gonna be a well-lit facility. And
Seven's off early. But
Yeah, it's by the time you get off
That
at
would
work
be-
almost.
Well, they just won't be operational at night, so there won't be lights. I think we can set that.
yeah,
But can we get that in our site plan then, whenever all that comes through also, or not?
I would suggest that we go ahead and
Add.
hammer out the hours of operation now.
Okay.
Because that
Weren't you
has,
proposing something similar to that? What were your hours you were wanting to operate?
The hours during the daylight saving time would be from 7:30 to 7:30 in the morning till 7
In the evening, on Sundays, it would be from 8 until 6.
Yeah.
So you're
During
not
daylight savings time.
Right.
What about,
Other than daylight saving times, it would be from 7:30 to 6 during the normal days, during the weekdays, and on Sundays, the same hours of 8
Right.
to 6.
so basically same hours year round? Basically the same hours year round?
Yes, well, like I say, closing an hour earlier during the non-daylight
Right.
saving times.
Well, that's,
So you're not looking at a 24-hour, 24/7
Oh, no,
operation,
no.
which is
I
good.
think that's,
Because it is not a self-service.
Right.
Okay.
Do you operate the one at Lakeland or Brandon?
Right now, we have one on Old Canton, over in Jackson. And this will be our second one.
Okay.
And there will be quite a bit of landscaping around with it as well. And as far as the bricking on it,
Yeah.
the illustrations that we showed you, we're developing with the architect, and we already are wanting to have a partial bricking with it to cut down on some of the glass.
Was that some of the split face? Was that the split face brick?
Yes,
I
sir.
believe that's what I remember
Yes.
seeing.
You said
How
it's
many-
not
how
a
many
self-serve.
employees?
What, I was just envisioning the others where you go through the tunnel and it does everything, then the individual can get out and, wipe it down or vacuum or do whatever and leave.
We have on the one that we have on Canton, we just, this past weekend, put new equipment in it, and we've got a piece of equipment at the end of the tunnel they call dry and shine, and it's a buffing material both on the sides and the top that completely dries the vehicle. So we won't have people outside other than just assisting with the vacuuming and stuff.
So how many employees do you envision at this location?
Probably at that location, we'll have 8 or 9, not at one time.
Right.
But to be able to run the shift works and everything,
Correct.
8 to 9 employees. We have 6 at the one at Old Canton, but this one will be a little higher volume, so we're probably 8 to 9.
So this will be more in line with a red air car wash.
No, actually, it's going to be more in line with the one that's on Lakeland now, the Venture Car Wash.
Yeah.
It'll be more in line with that one.
Isn't that the one down by the fire station?
It's
I think so.
the one where across from the fire station.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
The
All right.
hours of operation, sounds like you've already kind of covered that in what we were looking at. I think you covered that pretty well.
Is there a concern with it being open that late, or?
No, I think
I
that's a good
think
time.
that's a good time.
Actually,
Just
I
the
was-
lighting,
I was
you don't
concerned
have
that
any
wasn't late
lighting
enough.
issues at night shining in individuals' homes.
I don't see that to be a problem. My mother lives in that subdivision next to it.
Yeah,
So if you have problems, I
Mom
promise
will
you.
let you
I'll hear from her.
Quickly.
Yeah.
Well, the main thing, we want it to be an asset to the community, and not a deterrence. So, and that's why I'm suggesting the brick.
And we want it to be
and-
recognized as such, so that, of course, we'll draw in the business and everything. So that's
Right.
why we're doing it to the extent that we are. Because you could do it for a lot less expense, but we're not
Right.
cutting any corners.
Okay.
While we're all here, my thought was to address this egress
Yeah.
issue
What?
while we're here. The fact that there's concern about egress onto Old Fannin at that location.
Yeah, I saw your original plan showed you exiting on Old Fannin.
Well, we put that as a possible. And that was just to be able to give the customers the option as to which way they wanted to go. We expect that most people are going to be exiting on the other side, but we don't have to have that as an exit.
I think that would be more of a hazard than we need to add.
Right.
It's more the ingress that I'm concerned about, folks trying to use that
Yeah.
as an entrance.
Right.
Yeah.
Correct.
As opposed to an exit.
Right.
It's going to be difficult.
Well, if there was one there, it would be gated so that it couldn't be used as an entrance.
Yeah, that was one of our concerns that we did have coming off of Old Fannin, so. If you,
And when gated, you're talking about like a swing arm type
Correct.
mechanism?
Correct.
Yeah, okay.
Both the exits, whether it would be the old Fountain or the other, will have the gated.
Okay.
So how do we word to have bricking adequately?
Yes, I would say an appropriate brick fascia, subject to a review at the time that the site plan
Right.
is actually submitted.
Okay.
But
Okay.
I think just by designating today that you guys are intending to see some sort of brickwork on this facility, that helps us on the front end so that when we do get a site plan,
Yeah.
it'll be in keeping with what you guys are indicating here.
Right.
Yeah, because I personally, I'm thinking all of it, you know, where the vacuums are, all that needs to be brick out there. Okay.
So
I'll make a
do-
motion to approve based on our recommendations.
Second.
Renee,
Conditions.
You feel pretty good about the conditions? Okay.
Okay, I've got a motion by Mr. Bishop, second by Mr. Johnson. Any more questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. President, next item is the Samuel and Chandrell Long conditional use request. Did I get that right? I'm sorry. Yes, dimensional variance request. This is on Bryant High Street in District 4. We'll open that public hearing. I'll ask at this time if there is anyone here to speak in opposition to the Samuel and Chandrell Long dimensional variance request. Anyone to speak in opposition? Mr. President, Mr. and Ms. Long are requesting a dimensional variance of 5.7 feet from the 100-foot minimum lot width requirement for property located on Bryant High Street. This is a 1.48 acre parcel that is zoned RE1. The property is part of an estate that has been divided. If approved, they plan to start construction of a new home immediately. This time, we'll close that public hearing, not seeing any opposition. It'd be appropriate to take action.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Johnson, second by Mr. Morrison. Any questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. Motion carries.
Mr. President, this time we'll open the public hearing on the Bob and Jeanette Hall conditional use request, 1015 Fortune Drive in District 4. This time I'll ask if there's anyone here to speak in opposition to the Bob and Jeanette Hall conditional use request. Anyone? Mr. President, I don't see anyone. Mr. and Ms. Hall are requesting a conditional use to place a manufactured home on the property located at 1015 Fortune Drive. It's a 2-acre parcel zoned RE1. They are retired and moving back to be closer to their family. This time, we'll close that public hearing, and it'd be appropriate to take action.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Johnson, second by Mr. Morrison. Any questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. Motion carries. Thank you, Craig. Okay, Ms. Laura Oster, County Administrator.
First thing I have is an update on the FEMA safe room. I received an email from Jeff Eakes last week saying that he's gotten with Coleman Hammonds on getting the completion of the paperwork done so that we can pay the retainage. He is supposed to schedule a meeting with the sheriff this week because there's a question on the size of the generator. So he's supposed to get with him, and then we do have an issue still on our reimbursement and getting all of that covered. But that's all I have at this point.
Okay.
Okay.
So really, nothing's moved forward then.
No, not really.
Are we gonna need to get our Craig involved with this?
He's been copied on all the emails, and Jeff did promise us that he would get with the sheriff this week to get it moving.
We know that there is one change order that's coming that is in our favor.
A decrease, yes.
And so we want that, we
Right.
want that to happen. But there's some other issues that we're involved in addressing as it relates to the review of the paperwork that's been submitted for the reimbursement. That process is under review at the MEMA level.
At the MEMA level?
Yes. So obviously, we've got to get an answer from MEMA before we know what to tell you guys.
Right. Okay.
Mhm. Okay.
And you've got a contact there that you'll be talking? Okay. Thank you.
Second thing I have is ratification of publishing the public notice to conduct an open test of the direct recording electronic touchscreen voting device at the Rankin County Election Equipment Vault at 601 Marquette on October 30th, beginning at 9 a.m. The reason this is being ratified is when they sent down the publication, we had to get it to the paper to be within our 30-day notice period.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay.
Good. Okay, do I have a motion to
So moved.
accept this?
Second.
Motion by Mr. Morrison, second by Mr. Johnson. Any questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. Motion carries.
The next item is request approval of the 2014 certification for authority to expend the 1 mill levy that we have.
I thought we already did that.
No, we just got approval back from the state. It's always included in our budget, but we have to wait for the letter back.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Right.
Got a motion by Mr. Bishop, second by Mr. Morrison. Any questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. Motion carries. Additional business to be discussed?
Oh, yeah.
I had also made a note, Jay, you had mentioned we did fail to get it on here, but the notepads that you had requested
Yes.
that we talk about.
Yes, I would like to, rather than having these paper copies, try to cut down some of our paper and just go to some type of computer, laptop, tablet, something. I think it would help Janice too.
Would you like for us to get with Rusty and see what we have, what the cost would be?
He's priced
what
them
the-
out,
has-
and
priced
you
them?
know, they're
What did I think you said, $300 to
at the
$400?
top,
something like that?
$500
Right.
each.
Okay, so we,
I know y'all are so excited about it.
I would think Walter's really excited, my IT specialist.
It would help.
Oh, it definitely cut down on the paperwork.
Yeah, had me looking at it, looking like a calf looking at a new gate.
Well, how about y'all just let me start with it, and then you can grow into it if you want to.
So you want to add that item?
I
to
tell
the
you what,
agenda?
I'm gonna ask Russ to get definitive prices, so in our next meeting,
Yeah.
we can.
We can move forward,
take it
whatever
up.
we need to
Yeah.
do?
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds like a plan. Any additional business to be discussed, anything
I
else?
want to ask something that brought to my attention. Renee, this has got to really kind of do with your department. Do the, you know how we do the rental inspections and all, as a fee and all. Is there any way, do we have any way that can be done online in some way to keep some of these that have, from having to drive all the way over here to handle some of this?
The people who have the home inspection reports, they can submit them by email to us, and we're working with people that way already. Some of them do send their application in, but if they have to, pay, sometimes if they pay by check, the inspector will pick it up for them. So we are trying to accommodate them as best we can.
We don't have you don't have a credit card
We can
system.
do
Not
that
yet.
with our new website. We'll be able to take care of that.
Yeah, that's what it's made good sense,
Yeah,
that-
that'll be
basically an hour away.
A good
down.
feature to add. We'll have the capability.
Would you be able to do it, credit card?
We don't have that capability
I mean,
yet. We
can't-
talked about looking
Yeah.
at.
Yeah,
Should
I
have
think
it on the new.
would be good for you.
Same for like people want to book our facilities currently. They can do it all online, pay it online.
Right. Would
How
that-
clo- how
would
cles
that
was
work?
Rusty
Would
on
that
that?
help you too?
We're real
It
close.
would.
Okay, well, I think that's something good. I'm glad that would incorporate into the new system and something we could pursue. Because after discussing it with some, I realized that it just takes they don't have a problem with it's being done. It's just, it does take an hour and a half away from their day just to drive over here for, really, it's kind of generic.
So are y'all taking part, who in your office is taking part in doing training on the new website?
Michelle Alfonso and myself.
So when y'all are in there, just tell them this is another feature you want to add so that we can get that done.
Okay.
All right, great.
All right, great.
Any more additional business?
We have an executive session matter, don't we?
I've got an item of litigation that I'd like to address with you guys.
Okay.
Exactly.
Is discussion of all the personnel, possible people
Yes,
for
sir.
executive session?
We can take up personnel issues.
Personnel and
Yeah.
possible litigation?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Do I have a motion?
So
I'll make a
moved.
motion to discuss the need to go into executive session.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Johnson, second by Mr. Bishop. Any questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. Motion carries.
Hey.
Before,
Y'all go do that.
yeah, let's go do the picture right quick, because there's no telling how long we could be in this, so.
He may on second thought. I may let him do it instead of me.
I actually got I did. My wife wouldn't let me stay down.
We didn't include him.
He played it great.
Man, yeah,
He really
that ain't no
did. Give him
problem.
credit. Give him credit.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Okay, that'd be great. Uh-huh, I hear you. What do you need?
I don't want anything.
How are you doing?
So anytime you screw down there, you should.
I know, I was looking at trying to think through how would you do it, and it not, it's just being held. It's, I'm Brian Brown, Frank's wife. Yes. You know, that's what colleges out here. Right.
Hi, Laura Oster. Nice to meet you.
I didn't actually come check it out.
Come in here and check out the
It does pretty good, thankfully. Thankfully, most of the time, it's only half a circus. Depends on which year. Yeah, thank you. Absolutely.
Must have was cheering. Well, you. Why do you not? Now, I'm not gonna cheer when you play them. I thought it was a good conversation. I know you weren't happy with us. But if you really want to win the SEC West, you should be happy with that. So, I mean, where is your loyalty? Is your loyalty to your Are you gonna go 8-0? You know what I said? Toddy, Hale State Toddy. That's my system for today. Hey, Janice.
What does it come on?
Second one off.
That's what
Versus private road.
and it feeds her parcels on the back down in there.
It turns back and ends down here, but she just keeps going on the straight as you come past her mother's house. And then her piece is there.
That's what I'm saying. So she's really accessing her property from some unknown, unnamed private pig trail.
It's a pig trail, and it's
Back in there, you can't go. All right, so what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna tie my restricted covenant to her parcel, to my parcel. She crosses two, doesn't she?
She crosses her mother-in-law's. She comes across her mother-in-law's. She gave her.
All right, she got two parcels she crossed. Okay.
1170 on Foreman Road.
That's what I gave Chuck, and I spelled it the same way you did.
Yes.
That's what I got.
Exactly. So,
Yeah, me too.
I know what I need to do, just send me that in my.
John wants to know if it was torture for you watching the ball.
It's pretty torturous. Yeah, it was. But in the safety of executive, I'll tell you, it ain't over yet. It ain't over yet.
I bet them boys were practicing that night.
Don't you think they're having a bad day today?
They had a bad day Sunday.
They're having a bad day.
They looked like crap.
Yeah, they did.
We're still on.
First admit, they looked horrible.
They did.
Senior, fumbled twice. A senior.
I wish they were ever in the game. They didn't seem like they ever coordinated. Y'all need a quarterback.
Yeah. It's pretty bad when one of your best athletes goes down with a broken leg right
Is
there
that what
in
he's
the
got,
box.
broken leg? I didn't watch it, but he said.
Gone. Yeah, he's out. He may not play football again. Guy named Kenyon Creek.
Yeah, I heard it was similar to that.
I did
It's
that.
very similar. Bad deal.
Hey, Ole Miss got their hands full playing A&M this weekend.
Yeah, they do.
A&M got their stinger out, I care what it is. Ole Miss gonna have a tough time playing them first.
At College Station, best believe it.
That's $450 million to your renovation.
Yeah, those minor things.
Big boy.
Game.
College lady while they're coasting.
I can get a signature, I can wait. These signatures, not yours, county. No, I need the El Presidente to sign it. Well, I was gonna suggest, you understand kind of where you are.
I miss that new Larry Swags, how are you? I'm good.
Say
I
you
did no
be
problem.
over
They
there,
get in there
till you
tomorrow.
come over
It's not a
there.
problem. At the desk. I'll just go by there and unlock it. I
That's
go
where
by
you
there
want
and
to have
unlock
it, Jan. I think it'd be a lot more fun if you tagged it.
Okay, 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 all right, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am, I'll probably get by there and unlock it that morning, actually, and just leave it unlocked for you. That'll work for you. Okay, okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. All right, no problem, then. Okay, bye-bye. All right.
Yeah, I even heard Larry Swell's name thrown about as filling in the term.
And where at?
Filling in the term for District 2.
Oh, did you? I passed. I appreciate it up there.
We're still in till y'all vote, still recording till y'all vote.
Okay. I
Hey,
understand.
I can do both.
I knew you could. Jared, Larry said he could do both.
Huh?
He said he could do both, chancery clerk and supervise. No problem.
Well, let's see, let's give that some consideration. I'm the one that suggested it.
I wasn't gonna tell him that. So what are our reasons to go in executive session?
Well, one is a litigation matter that involves, Chuck, you're all coming up with this.
Yeah.
He said, I'm gonna leave,
Yeah. Shows our high level of trust, my friend.
Just lay it on the table there, Chuck.
I don't mind Chuck hearing this, he's gonna hear about it eventually anyway. This is the potential litigation in this is that there's another order that has been entered by another court.
Of course.
Thankfully, you'll be grateful that it's not directed to us. It's been directed to your Justice Court clerk from one of our Justice Court judges. I'll let you guess which. He has ordered our Justice Court clerk to now alter and change the method by which our Justice Court system provides documents from court files in litigation matters. So there's the basis for the litigation concept. I don't know about the, I mean, I have an idea, but I don't know exactly about the personal issue.
You're right, yeah.
Okay.
So I make a motion to go into executive session to discuss litigation and personnel.
So-
Motion by Mr. Bishop, second by Mr. Morrison. Questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. Motion
Hey,
carries.
Janice.
Morning, Mr. Parker.
Got a Diet Coke.